Good afternoon. Welcome to Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. And now here's your irritated host, the Voice of Doom. All right, thank you, Mr. Announcer. That was a good one. Today's topic, get right into it. I'm going to talk about the concept of scandal. And maybe do it from some different angles, and some of it will be obvious. But I got up this morning and I actually enjoyed the news. And when I say enjoy, it's like I like watching the news, no good or bad, but this time it was actually pretty good because I can see that the vermin are starting to eat themselves. And it's a joy because it's a long time coming. And it would have happened anyway. It's better they get their karma out of the way now than next lifetime, because I dread where they'll be. So, scandal. I kind of studied into the word before I delved into it because I wanted to really know what scandal was. And scandal is dishonor and disgrace. Write a few notes. I don't know why my memory's not good today, but dishonor and disgrace. So, yes, you could say almost anything you do that's really, really bad is going to be a dishonor and disgrace to your character. But to use scandal as a verb, like to scandalize, has nothing to do with disgrace. It has to do with slander, malignment, gossip. So when you scandalize something, you become the person becomes the victim, whoever is the central figure. So you see how the politicians like to have the word scandal next to things. Like the Watergate scandal, the Iran-Contra scandal. They don't say the Watergate criminal conspiracy hearings. They say, they call it a scandal because even the Democrats are going to have some, diplomacy when they know they got it in the bag and this guy is as good as gone. But they try to drum up scandals. I mean, it's used in the correct way. When they say the Russiagate scandal, and gate is really annoying. Ever since Watergate has put a gate behind it, and that means it's really bad, and it's a government cover-up and a conspiracy. It's really childish. Get tired of that repetitive. It's now probably a suffix that means scandal. But maligning and gossiping about somebody who killed somebody because they're a celebrity, you don't just say he's a murderer, you say it's a scandal. What a scandal that this rich person took the life of someone. So, I don't know, scandals, it's been around a long time. I mean, probably as far back as the first 2 or 3 people got together on this planet. There was probably a scandal about it. Probably a menage a trois gone bad. But Watergate, just Clinton alone is a scandal. I don't have to go into detail because nobody really thinks about, uranium being kind of made off limits to America. Different, rare earths are being made. Little things that Clinton did that were really kind of bad. He pretty much turned China into a superpower, and don't think they're not. Just because we have more, nuclear bombs, or atom bombs, or whatever they are, neutron bombs. It doesn't matter how many we have. You use so many, we're done. So, they only have 1,000, and we have 5,000, so we'll beat them. Oh, makes a lot of sense. Use 5 or 6 of them, everybody's done. So they're not a superpower because we got thousands of more atom bombs in our arsenal. Idiots. You deserve what's coming. Okay, so there's a double standard, of course, with whether you're a murderer or you're being scandalized. And, on a grand scale, the Democratic Party has been a scandal, one long scandal since 1994. And that's an absolute fact. And if you look at everything objectively, then, you would see that they've cheated and lied constantly with impunity. So if there was justice in America, which there is not, everybody knows it, BLM knows it, the MAGA guy knows it, the guy in the Viking costume knows it, everybody knows there's no justice in America. But if there was, the Democratic leadership would all be arrested today under RICO charges. And if you had a good prosecutor, it would be so easy, ridiculously easy. Just look at any election. No justice, yeah. Clandestine government, shadow government. That's always the heart of some scandal. And then it's like, well, it was the shadow government that did Iran-Contra, and yes, it was. But they were in the government while they're in the shadow government. And some people actually thought that that was a good thing, so Watergate, everybody was pretty much against Nixon after a certain point. There was very few die-hard supporters after the tapes started coming out and things of that nature. And that was what got me interested in politics, because I had to watch the Watergate hearings from morning to night at my aunt's house all summer long. And it got me thinking that that's the way government is. And then some people would say, well, that's just an aberration. That's not the way the government really is. But actually, it's worse than Watergate, because Watergate was just one guy who was paranoid, and then a bunch of apparatchiks who, will follow him to the end because they're in the seat of power. And Nixon, if he had been a Democrat, he'd be on Mount Rushmore right now. He would be on Mount Rushmore for what he did with China and Russia, Soviet Union. He opened up the world to diplomacy. He did a good job with a lot of things. Economically, I don't know. I guess he wasn't good in the long run because he took us off the gold standard, and I only understand a little bit of that. The main thing I understand about that is that we're 28 trillion in debt, and they keep saying our kids and grandkids will be paying for it. They're not going to pay for it. Come on. Oh, let's start paying the debt now. Now that all the boomers are dead, let's work on getting down this $50 trillion debt. Not going to happen. Something else is going to happen first. It's going to make all that moot. And you can take that to the bank. But let's get back to Scandal. It was such a joy. Turn on the news and see one of their big, huge, sacred cow heroes just starting to claw out of a pit. Like, suddenly things are going bad for me, and I don't have very many friends left, and what am I going to do? Because I am not going to go down without a fight. So that's joyful. I love watching that. I kind of love watching the chaos at the border at this point because they can say nothing about Trump doing it. Nothing. I mean, they can try. Bernstein can try. He's such a freaking idiot. I hate that guy. I used to think he was good. And he's turned into a preternatural hater who's lost all touch with reality, no rationality whatsoever. And I didn't buy All the President's Men. I watched the movie. I like Dustin Hoffman. He's another liberal, probably, I think. But like the movie, I bought another book that was much more comprehensive about Watergate, much more comprehensive, and read it. Okay, what other little tidbits can I talk about? When the Clinton thing was going on, and it was like a big scandal that he had somebody in his Oval Office, and yes, it was a security breach. Very much so. Nobody even thinks about that. She could have been a Chinese spy. She could have been anything. They could use it as blackmail. They could do any number of things could have happened, and probably did. But the scandal was you lied about saying you didn't have sex, or you lied about not meeting this woman or doing something to this woman. Basically a trivial little tidbit that they dig up. You lied to Congress about when you said that you met her on June 14th. It was actually the 15th, so let's impeach you. There was plenty of reasons to impeach Clinton, believe me. Plenty of reasons nobody even knows about. I'm not going to go into it. But it's a sex scandal because that way he can squirm out of it, literally and figuratively. You know, so I don't even know if it's going to be that long, but it occurred to me that when I was watching the Clinton hearings and I realized, hey, this isn't Watergate. These Democrats are all on the defense team. They didn't do that in Watergate. No way. Everyone on that committee was like grilling these guys till they were so sick of being questioned that they just stand up and say, I give up, take me to jail. No. The Contra hearings, or the Clinton hearings, there was a defense team and there was a prosecution on the committees. And I'd never seen that before. And then I realized for sure that the Democrats were corrupt because they had lost the election in '94. And now they're going to do everything to be corrupt and be curs and be mongrels and be vermin. Not much respect for them. I think Mark Levine's too easy on him. And Hannity, way too soft. But it occurred to me when I watched that they're not going to convict Clinton because these guys, are narcissists and they'll turn on everybody. So if one side starts going whole hog at the other side with scandals and with crimes, then they'll just turn on them. So if they expose one, they expose themselves. It's a mutually assured destruction understanding that the government has, that we're not going to delve too deeply into anything important because otherwise we'll all go down. Because then everything will peel away like an onion and we'll realize we've been duped. Duped pretty much the whole time. I mean, I don't know about the first 50 years of history, but yeah, we've been kind of duped. And especially now. And I don't know if I even talked about scandal. I just talked about how nice it is to see these people starting to eat themselves because it's going to go one after the other. It's going to be beautiful. And they call it a scandal, and if it was a Republican, it would be the worst form of rape, gang rape. Stand in line, put the LSD in the punch, and, let's take turns. You know what it'd be like, Kavanaugh, come on. Let's make up something out of whole cloth. You can tell the guy is not like that. So, yeah, he's a monster, serial rapist. I mean, they go too far. They go so far that everybody knows it's ridiculous, and that's why they should be brought up on RICO charges, because their existence is a crime. As bad as any organized criminal enterprise has ever been. The 5 families, you name it. The Sonny Bean family, just horrible, horrible cannibals. I've said enough. I mean, it's not 15 minutes yet, but I'm pretty happy with what I laid out there. I think you can see how bad the world is and the country, and it's only going to get worse. So we can enjoy that. Get a Mai Tai or a hot toddy and just sit back and enjoy. It was fun. I enjoyed this one. I'll do it again. See you later. Bye.